Pokemon Headcanons, they're back. You guys have been dying for this, so please stop. I need you all alive to watch the video. These videos are always really fun to make, and like always, you guys absolutely flooded the comment section with your headcanons. And God, it takes forever to read every single last one. So, I'll cut you guys a deal. Whatever the top comments headcanon is, I'll feature it in the next headcanon video, whenever that is. All I ask is that you make it a good one. And before you leave a headcanon, make sure you're subscribed. Trust me, I'll know if you're subscribed. We have surveillance billups everywhere. So, what is a headcanon? A headcanon is a piece of canon you come up with in your head. Something along the lines of, the reason Nimona loves battling so much is because she's a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and she's Mexican. Every Mexican loves Dragon Ball, guys. It's just a fact. Sparking Zero is almost here. It's gonna magically appear in my library. Headcanons are just fun to think about, and they flesh out the world just a little more, albeit in silly ways sometimes. Anyways, let's get to reading. Gordon James Henry Production says, my headcanon is that Sharon is a substitute teacher at Blueberry Academy. This one is funny to me because it reminds me of whenever you'd get a substitute teacher at school, but they end up being related to someone famous. And you're just sitting there like, what the hell is Lotus Juice's brother-in-law doing in my classroom? Sharon would not be a fun substitute to have though. The laid-back substitutes are always the best because it's basically a free day off. You can do whatever you want. Cool math games, emulators, who fucking cares? It's a free day. Yeah! But Sharon would make sure that the class continues, even with the teacher gone. Way to spoil the fun. Larry Lissim says, my headcanon is that Professor Turo is afraid of spiders and small bugs. He won't scream, but he'll just uncomfortably stare at the bug. Silly, I know. This one is short, sweet, and simple. And one I can definitely see being true. Professor Turo having a stare down with a spider in his lab just seems like something that would happen. Especially if it's in the way of something that he needs. I can't even blame him though. Anytime I see a small critter I want to kill, and I go get my fly swatter or something, the moment I come back, it's gone. Motherfucker. Maybe at some point he would call Seda for help, you know, before she kind of did the whole dying thing. Or maybe Mabostiff would come to the rescue. Eventually. Nintendo Fact says, my headcanon is that Nimona literally stays up 24/7 in a room with security cameras all over the region. So when a trainer appears, she goes there ASAP to battle them. Okay, so Nimona is just the FNAF security guard. I don't doubt it for a second though. I imagine the moment she spots a trainer, she'll be there in a heartbeat. Someone's gotta put a bell on her or something. Aldea probably doesn't even need a military force. Just send Nimona. Paper Uzi Production says, Zygarde falls into hundreds of its cell form like a Lego person when it faints, and you cannot tell me otherwise. I love this one. I remember playing so much Lego Star Wars 2 when I was younger, and the sound of the Lego minifigures falling apart into tiny little pieces is just ingrained in my brain. I imagine they start squirming around everywhere trying to find a place to hide. Poor little guys. Don't worry, I'll tape you back together. Local Ginger says, my headcanon is that all food-based Pokemon live in fear of being found by a Munchlax or Snorlax. I do not blame them one bit. Imagine living your life as a tasty treat, you know, as you do, and the literal personification of gluttony and hunger is somewhere out there in the world. And to make things worse, its hunger can never be quenched, and it will always seek to consume something. Does that not sound horrifying? At least with Morpeko, it'll eventually get full and stop eating, so maybe you'll get spared in the Hunger Harvest Massacre, but Munchlax never gets full. Ever. Run, little guys, run! Snorlax, on the other hand, is pretty slow and only wakes up to eat. So as long as you avoid this thing when it's awake, you're pretty much fine. I don't know why I'm giving you guys advice like you are the food Pokemon. Hell, maybe you are. Let me know if there's any Bound Sweets watching. If there are, you're stupid. And I adore you for that. Frostalen says, my headcanon is that May and Dawn play Minecraft a lot together. Another simple one, but one I can definitely see. May and Dawn just have that sort of energy. Just two buds playing Minecraft. I feel like Dawn would be the type of person to leave trees floating, and May would be the one cutting the rest of it down. Same with her just leaving creeper holes everywhere. Not Yabub says, my headcanon is that Eevees get judged by their family on what they evolve into. Like, Leafeon? A Leafeon? I paid your daycare tuition for you to become a Leafeon? This one is just funny. People always argue about which evolution is the best, and I can see choosing which one to evolve into being like choosing a career. Just imagine some like angry father. An engineer? No son of mine's gonna be an engineer. You're gonna keep the family tradition of being a plumber, and you're gonna like it. I wonder which one of these evolutions would be considered the bum of the group. Maybe Flareon, because Flareon's moveset is awful. I'm sorry. I like Flareon, but what the hell is this? Glass Cannonball says, my headcanon is that Cynthia's piano theme is actually what Parrish song sounds like. I don't know why Parrish song is censored like it's a fucking bad word, okay? Hearing Cynthia's theme sends me into the state of sheer panic and distress. I love it so much though. It's such an iconic theme. I know we technically hear a bit of Parrish song whenever the move is used, but that's like a couple of notes. It's supposed to be a song, not a cat briefly playing piano. Love Cat Mew Mew says, I headcanon people in Unova started to suspect that N is a Zoroark, so some people have tried to confirm / deny it by throwing Pokeballs at him and seeing if it works. Edit, I also headcanon that he one time asked for a band-aid and got sprayed with a potion instead for that same reason. People having this conspiracy theory in real life is one thing, but people having it in the Pokemon world is another, and I love it. What I immediately think of is when in Gravity Falls, Dipper's trying to see the right side of this one guy because nobody's ever seen it, and he's trying anything in his power to do so. So I imagine something similar happening in the Pokemon world. I think the idea of people trying anything to catch N lacking is hilarious. Any day now, he's gonna show his true form. Just know it. Oh, you're injured? Would you rather eat this plain old boring human sandwich or these yummy Pokepuffs? Which one, buddy? Bonus points if it turns out N is actually just an ordinary person and everyone's just crazy. MX Calamari says, here's some of my Sword and Shield headcanons. Leon's champion outfit looks childish because he designed it when he was 10, and he wasn't able to change it because he needed to keep up with his brand. 2. Ryan likes spicy food. I will not explain. The idea of Leon sticking to his shitty childhood design is pretty funny. Like, clearly this outfit did not age well because it looks like he dressed in the dark. I feel like when he puts on his cape, a single tear falls and he's like, it's for the brand. It's for the brand. It's for the brand. He's got the Shadow Kamoshida fit. Ryan definitely strikes me as a spicy food lover. I don't know if he'd be the type to pretend like nothing's spicy, or if he would just straight up say, holy shit, I'm on fire. This is awesome. I can see it going either way. Spicy food is the best though. I love it so much. The Monkey King 4 says, my headcanon is that the reason Faulkner gives you the TM for Mud Slap is so you can't hurt his precious bird Pokemon. That pretentious little bastard would do something like that. And oh my god, he does. I never put 2 and 2 together. What an asshole. Hey, I know you just beat the fuck out of my birds. So to ensure that doesn't happen again, here's a move that literally cannot touch any of my flying type Pokemon. I can't believe this shit. Psychic Duelist says, oh man, that's a lot. Hold on, I need a drink. Make sure you're subscribed, guys. Anyways, some funny headcanons I have are that 1. Cynthia secretly made her own brand of ice cream that is really popular. 2. Penny watches anime, nicknames her Pokemon after anime characters, and although would never admit it, she loves the magical girl genre. 3. Arvin can't bake, and no matter how hard he tries, it never comes out right. And it's not even the it tastes good. I don't know what they said, I'm sorry. It doesn't look right. Anything he bakes is just, don't even take a bite. I did my best, I'm sorry. I usually try to correct you guys, okay? 4. Nemona secretly has a little notebook with info on all the champions, and even watches Diantha's movies. Cynthia branded ice cream would actually go so hard. I wonder what it would taste like though. I can see it being jet black, and maybe tasting like vanilla with a hint of strawberry or something. I was gonna say black licorice, but I don't know what it tastes like, and it probably wouldn't even make for a good ice cream flavor. Penny would 100% name her Pokemon after anime characters, but I feel like she'd do really obscure ones. So not like Naruto or Goku, I'm talking like XL from XL Saga, or May from Maze the Mega Burst Space. Things you've never heard of before. I've never baked before in my entire life. I wouldn't even blame Arvin for not being able to do it. I like the idea of him being a culinary master in everything besides baking though. It nerfs him just a little bit. Nemona's probably fiending for just even a chance to fight another champion. Probably maps all of their known locations, planning to predict and intercept where they might appear next, like Carmen Sandiego on crack. Diantha's movies probably suck though, I can't lie. Maybe I just don't like her. I don't know. Human Thingamajig says, my headcanon is that when Arvin cooks with Mabostiff, he puts a little chef hat on him too. It's the little headcanons like this that I just love. The last place this dog belongs is in the kitchen, but hey, at least he can feel like he's helping out wearing that little hat. Maybe he can even have a little tray taped to his back so he can be a walking table or something. Evan says, my headcanon is that Iono sometimes stream for 10 hours just reacting to funny cat videos. I feel like she's 100% guilty of this, but the little face cam is just a JPEG of her. She's not even actually there. She's probably taking a nap or something, I don't know. Thinks nobody would notice. Smallest Cheese says, here are some of my headcanons. Nemona probably plays competitive games like Splatoon, Arvin would play Flash games, Penny would play indie games, and has a giant collection of Rubik's Cubes besides the one on his chain. I'm honestly super surprised that for Nemona, you didn't choose fighting games for her. Splatoon is pretty competitive, but I can just see Nemona wanting to scrap in any fighting game. Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Wii, Smash Brothers, Street Fighter. If it's got fighting, Nomona wants to play. Arvin would enjoy Flash games. Maybe he was allowed to play them on his parents' computer growing up. He might have even played the Papa's games, which only fueled his culinary interests. I don't know why, but when you said Penny played indie games, I immediately thought of Undertale and Deltarune. I haven't even played either of these. She just seems like the type to be really obsessed over it. I can see N having a bunch of Rubik's Cubes, even if he didn't have that little one on his chain. He just seems like he would, you know? I don't know what it is. He wouldn't just have them to have them either. I feel like he'd actually know how to solve them. I've never solved a Rubik's Cube in my life, and it's probably gonna stay that way. Tommy says, my headcanon is that if Don's Piplup and Brox's Vulpix were to meet, it would be an all-out rivalry of who's better at, well, anything. Their egos are too big to be in the same room. Lol. I love that. This is a crossover I never knew I needed, but one I can't live without anymore. Please make this happen. Don's Piplup was such a funny little creature. I constantly think about that one scene where it's just walking and out of nowhere you just hear a fucking explosion. Iconic. Piplup would probably win though, considering it's a water type and Vulpix is just a baby. So, congrats, Piplup. WTF Game Studio says, my headcanon is that 1. Serena's family's rich because she traveled to another region for Pokemon Camp. 2. Lana loves Starbucks. 3. Diglett has no soul and it wants to see the world burn when it digs. For someone who doesn't have a dad, Serena's family being rich is insane. Being a single parent must be a nightmare, let alone building enough wealth to be considered rich. So good on you, Grace. Good shit. To be fair though, I don't think flights in the Pokemon world are really that expensive. Ash takes them like a lot, and so does Delia. And I don't know who else, but everyone's everywhere. I can see Lana ordering her coffee just pitch black, but I can also see her putting an unhealthy amount of sugar in it. Either one is equally as plausible. The Diglett one is awesome. It digging not for the purpose of getting around or making a home, but to harm the planet is funny. They'll carve the hollow earth that the conspiracy theorists adore. Gage Gravy says, my headcanon is that Cynthia's Garchomp eats ice cream with Cynthia, though also this does a very tiny amount of damage to itself by doing so, since he's 4 times weak to ice, but still loves to eat ice cream because it makes Cynthia happy. Might use Firefang to melt the ice cream to eat so it doesn't hurt. I feel so bad for Garchomp. I've never considered this before. A 2 times weakness is already pretty bad, but this is quadruple. I think Firefang would be its best bet. It's like whenever people run a spoon under warm water to make it easier to scoop out ice cream. I personally never really have good luck doing that, so I just kind of go for it. I've been a few spoons doing that, so be careful. I wonder what Garchomp's favorite flavor would be. Maybe Rocky Road? Aaron says, nobody in the Galar Lab actually does anything. Sonia plays mobile games all day. Pop watches live battles and battle moment compilation videos. The unnamed scientist doesn't actually know any science and he just stands there. Okay, so they're all just fucking around. Sweet. This sort of reminds me of when you do a group project in school, but would only actually work on it when the teacher was looking, and you just go right back to doing nothing. It's like reverse FNAF. A lot of FNAF references in this episode. I feel like Sonia would play Candy Crush, or like that one watermelon game I keep seeing everywhere. Hop watching videos. Yep, sounds about accurate. Maybe throw in some wacky challenge videos in there to keep him entertained. The unknown scientist is just a paid actor. What the fuck is your... this guy says, my headcanon is Misty loves Sewaddle. It's the only bug she likes. In case you somehow don't know, Misty hates bug-type Pokemon. Or, I don't know if hate's the right word. She's just really scared of them. Disgusted, even. Which, to be fair, I don't think I'd be thrilled about seeing 3 feet tall bugs roaming around in my world either. Like, even now when I see a bug, it's gross, but I end up killing it in the end. But what are you supposed to do about this? It's huge! Anyways, back on track. If there was to be one exception for Misty's fear of bug types, it's gotta be Sewaddle. This thing is so damn cute. I even crowned it as the cutest bug type in my cutest Pokemon of every type video that you should go watch right now. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'm honestly really surprised I've been able to make so many sequels to this series, but I'm happy I've been able to. Subscribe, like the video, comment, follow my socials. Risk of Rain 2's DLC is out, and I'm happy. Bye everyone!